Style. It's a hard word to pin down sometimes. It may refer to the physical appearance of a person or an object. It may be describing the personality or characteristic of an individual. Be what it may, style has been a part of our lives since the beginning of time. As a distinct trait in evolution, style has governed how the lives of many animals, including human lives, play throughout time.
Hold on! Yo, this angle I got, look at those knees! Look at the knees!
Style, by definition, is a manner of doing something, or a distinctive appearance, typically determined by the principles according to which something is designed. The peafowl, for example, or as many know as the peacock. This animal has evolved to the point where its feathers display an array of colors and incredible patterns. Charles Darwin suggested that they served to attract females, and the showy features of the males had evolved by sexual selection. This was the process of natural selection. In other cases, style may be more of an adaptive nature. The patterns on the wings of insects, such as butterflies, can help protect them from the predators through camouflage. This also serves as a warning for predators that the butterfly's body is toxic, or even to help it attract potential mates. This type of mechanism uses a strength of aesthetic to produce desired results. This is directly related to the way humans use style. A human being decides what to wear based on the criteria they're trying to achieve. Be it as something simple as attracting the opposite sex, using camouflage in military situations, or even just to fit in for that new job an individual is trying so hard to get. Many people in all walks of life have to consider what clothes they will wear and how they groom themselves to be able to achieve a certain goal. Others discard style completely, but even that creates a certain perception, thus making you adopt a style whether you like it or not. How does this relate to the FGC? Well, in the FGC we have many figureheads who demonstrate either their skill or their personality through distinct styles. For example, we have the stoicism of Daigo. Daigo's stoicism allows him to hide his emotion, leaving the opponent clueless to what he is thinking or might be capable of. Daigo is highly decorated, wearing logo after logo, demonstrating his prowess and prestige. This creates an advantage for him. Daigo knows that using minimal expression will not allow the opponent to read him through emotion. The discipline Daigo has helps him suppress the need to smile or frown in the most critical moments. Much of Daigo's style can be attributed to the culture that surrounds him in Japan. They are a disciplined population that takes pride in humility and certainty. Generation through generation, Japanese culture has an emphasis in honor and discipline. This allows many people to have personality traits such as stoicism in front of the situations that may cause others to panic. Not only this, but it forms logical thought, a certain type of thinking that takes into consideration outcomes and past decisions, directly affecting decision making by making more thought out conservative actions, where multiple possibilities can occur and all variables through consideration can be achieved with the right conditions. The culture that surrounds Daigo makes him a cold, calculated killer, where he is able to control emotion during trying times, like being cornered or waking up to a strong set play. It's a very effective style of play, but also has its downsides. This type of play style makes the player more predictable and creates scenarios where if one thing doesn't go as planned, you may lose the very thing you were going after. Daigo is a beast, and although he is a more conservative player and has thought patterns similar to his compatriots, he is not the norm. At times, Daigo can adapt to the opponent's style and change his ways, doing what some call a new Meishoryu. Daigo can make you think that you know what he's up to, only to defy expectation. Since the heyday of Street Fighter III Third Strike, Guilty Gear, and even Super Turbo, in the arena, Daigo has displayed complete stoicism even when winning. Whether he's pushed up against the wall or rushing you in the corner, he holds the same look that Clint Eastwood gave his enemy just before pulling the trigger. On the other side of the spectrum, we have Sonicfox. His flair and off-the-wall persona makes him a hard target to predict. Almost the complete opposite of Daigo. but just as deadly and maybe even more unpredictable.
Oh, the downfall slide! Just to finish the whole thing, and now he's going to try and fatality. The crowd is screaming!
He did
for
it!
mercy!
He did
gives them
it!
what they want!
Give the crowd what they want. Samij, another chance to make this comeback. Never mind.
If we take into account his furry guise and the bubbly, eccentric nature he possesses, you'd think he was some sort of fool like a jester. But don't let looks fool you, he's more like a king. He is a perfect example of how an individual raised in a more liberal, less constrained culture creates a type of player that is not subjugated to a train of thought. In the USA, people are a lot less disciplined and organized compared to Japan. Through generations in this young country, people have been changing constantly. Since the early days of the colonial British conservative, people have been dividing and changing based on the circumstances that were presented. Through adoption of immigrants from other nations, many people have brought in a variety of different values that span a multitude of cultures, having an overall effect on society and what they deem correct or incorrect. This domino effect helped create people with more free-flowing, open minds that are subject to change and less rigid than other trains of thought compared to their Eastern counterparts. Sonicfox's persona is a product of cultures clashing together and mixing in a way that creates a different type of winner. It's no secret that Sonicfox has a different perspective on sexuality than most, and his eccentric nature leads him down a path of video games of a more niche nature, such as fighting games. Most of his interests may be considered niche when you look at it statistically, but in reality, it was a storm brewing. The winning American attitude, the unpredictability of free thought, and zero constraint allow him to have a variety of tools capable to adapt to any situation. It's not to say he has no discipline, because to achieve great heights as he did, discipline is a must, allowing him to think outside the box and play the game in ways it wasn't meant to be played. What about me, the average Joe? Well, style isn't only displayed through emotion or appearance. It's also quite apparent in the way you play or what character you choose. It begins with self-reflection. Upon self-reflection, you are able to determine specific characteristics of yourself and understand quirks in your personality as well. If you are a patient person or introverted by nature, with a tactical mindset, you might want to consider a charged character such as Guile, controlling space and using the opponent's anxiety to your advantage. If you are a more extroverted person who enjoys constant communication, you have the ability to pressure, and you may be more suited to play a rush-down character like Yun. You can use dive kicks to close space and multiple block strings as well as combos. You are personified in the style and aesthetic the character uses. There are many characters to choose from and multiple options for each distinct style of play. This serves the purpose to identify and connect. Being able to connect to a certain character allows self-expression and the ability to exploit the toolset that best suits your playstyle and personality. For example, characters like Dan are considered joke characters for their lack of tools and funny appearance. They serve to express the carefree nature of the player and also exhibit the Joker in some of us. You may just want to lay back and have some fun. Perhaps you want a better challenge, or you just want to humiliate your opponent. Generally, one must find their own unique style and exploit it to gain a greater advantage based on the conditions established in the situation. Because we are all complex entities, we can develop new styles and discard old ones as we see fit, making us all unique and unpredictable to some degree. Being able to overcome obstacles or finding the right groove we can fit in begins with a change of heart and mind. When you decide to play against an opponent, or you're trying to sweeten some love interest, think about the style of play and decisions you think best suits you and can get the reaction you want from the other. Maybe you'll learn something about yourself upon reflection and adopt new styles of life in your daily routine. This has been the FGC Philosopher. Thanks for watching.